Hello, welcome back to the fish locker out on the boat. Now, I was just planning on coming out for a couple of hours to check the pots. I thought I'd bring some mackerel feathers with me just in case there's any mackerel around, and I've managed to find a couple of mackerel, and I've just hooked the smallest pollock I think I've ever had in my life. In fact, that little pollock there is going to become a live bait. Just drifting over a piece of reef. Now the tide's running quite well. We're running at about a knot, and the tide's going to be picking up. We're still carrying a little bit of swell from the bad weather that we've had the last couple of days, but it's not enough to put me off. The live bait rig I'm going to use is just my very simple bullet lead locked in like that. You connect straight to your main line like that, and then I have about 5 feet of 20-pound fluoro ending in a 6/0 Cox and Roll chinook. Now this live bait is tiny. I was hoping for a little joey, but I might still catch with it. And all I'm going to do is just lower it over the side. That's still alive. Lower it down over the side until you hit the bottom. This is why you need the lead. Lower down until you hit the bottom, and then straight away, as soon as you feel the bottom, engage the bail arm and wind. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's sitting 5 winds off the bottom. Now that pollock is that small, a big mackerel might even take it. But set me drag, it's relatively tight. And now, as we're drifting that way, the tide will hold it out just a little bit, and it'll be drifting just off the bottom. So any ambush predators, like a pollock or a bass, hopefully, will find it and take it. The mackerel that I've just got are good sized mackerel. And I just got the 2. So I'm glad I brought my feathers with me. All I'm using there is I'm just using little sabikis, like a 6-ounce lead. The type of bite I'm looking for on there is either for it to hoop straight over, or it give like a bang and then bend over. And the bang is something hitting it. Like a bass will come up and it'll hit a prey fish and then come round and get it. So you'll see a hit and then it'll come round and get it a second time. Fingers crossed I might be able to show you some more fish. These mackerel are a good size. I'm glad, because we've been waiting for him to appear for quite a while. He kind of came in one tide and we thought, oh nice one, they're here, and then just as quickly disappeared. So I'm hoping now that we've had this little bit of bad weather, these next set of big tides will bring them in and they'll stay in. There have been an awful lot of like feeding frenzies on gannets and dolphins and other fish, and they're feeding on little tiny sand eels. So half of these marks, what I'm seeing on the sounder, they aren't catchable fish. They're all fish that are like about that long, about that thick. But any luck, where there's smaller fish, there will be bigger fish as well. Ooh. That was a pollock or something, and it's just hit me. I think I've probably lost a feather there. Something big just hit me. Could have been a ballan wrasse. Oh, this is a good mackerel. Well, that is a decent sized fish. Wouldn't mind a few more of them. Swapped a little live bait pollock over for a mackerel on there. It's a little bit too big, so it's still a little bit, still got a little bit too much life in it. So it's circling around all over the place. It's not fishing where I want it to. Only look at it, tire out in a minute. Little fish down there. All of the mackerel today have been right on the bottom. Ooh. Fish. Well, by starting the engine, steaming the boat up tide, I've managed to free up whatever that snag was. I think I'm probably going to end up pulling up a massive piece of kelp here. There was my snag. There's my live bait. All that had happened there is, over like a peak, there'd been a bit of kelp and the mackerel had managed to wrap itself around it. And we saw it pull over, and all I did was just started the engine and steamed up tide of it, up tide of where it becomes snagged. So I just steamed up tide of where it becomes snagged. That way, you're pulled into your snag that way. If you start pulling it that way, sometimes you can pull it out, as of there. So I didn't lose my rig, just by a little bit of messing around. Started the engine, steamed up a tide a little bit and pulled it at different angles, managed to pull the snag free. So sometimes just that little bit extra messing about can save you from losing your game. See if we can't find a few more of them decent sized mackerel. I'd literally just turned the camera off. I wasn't even 20 foot below the boat. Now those are perfect live bait size. That little one on the bottom is perfect. All you do is you take the mackerel, take your hook, going through the top lip, just in front of, between the eyes, like. Just in front of and between the eyes. You don't go too far back between the eyes because you'll kill it. That should swim around happily now until a big bass or a big pollock finds it. They are perfect size for live baits. Fingers crossed now for a fish. Well, Mr. Beaky Feathers found a lovely little male cuckoo wrasse. Taken right on the bottom. Look, most of these mackerel, apart from that last string, have all been caught pretty close to the bottom. So I'm fishing close to the bottom, and that's where I found this guy. Look at him teeth. See him? Killer, right? All I'm doing to find these mackerel is you search through the watercolour. So I let through 10 feet, I give it a bounce. Up, up, oh. There you go. Some tiny ones amongst them. I think I'll keep that big one and let the other ones go. Look how small they are. As I was saying, you search out the water. One decent one and 3 little ones. The better fish seem to be deeper. So that's what I'll try and do. I'm surprised that live bait hasn't had anything yet. Usually when you find a shoal of little tiny mackerel like that, there will be some bass around. And a bounce. And a wind. And a bounce. And all you're doing is you're searching all the way through the water column. There's been a couple of big butterflies around today. I don't know what they're doing out here. Oh well. I've just cleaned the boat as well, now it's covered in mackerel scales again. Female cuckoo wrasse. This might be another wrasse. A little baby pollock. Just chopped through a little patch of these. These are also fantastic live baits. I'm going to stick him in a little bucket of water. And then we'll have another drift over the reef. When the tide starts dropping off, we'll have a look at the pots. These mackerel are literally just below the boat. Look, there's the leader knot. There's the fish. See what I mean? Managed to find a really good shoal, and I'm drifting just on top of them. Now, there are a few half decent sized ones amongst them. There are a few tiny ones as well. Oh shit. Let them go on, we'll keep going for the big ones. Coming up to the pots now. I'll try and take them on this side. Try that again. Try to dodge at slow speed, you head up into the wind, as soon as it goes, it goes. Here we are. So you know the man. Rope's come stuck around the rock. Try and pull that out from a different angle. One lobster. A spider and a few edibles. This tells me it's spun around in the tide. I'll show you in a sec. some edibles and spiders. Right. I had a bit of trouble there because it had all come bound round itself. See, look, this shows that it's been spinning around in the tide. They are about 50 feet away from where I shot them, so that explains it. But we have, I don't know, between it all, we have one size lobster, a few nice edible crabs, and some nice spider crabs. I'll get them out and show you them. Right, now that I've got myself sorted, bit of a mad there. The pots where I'd shot them, we've had a lot of bad weather recently, so it's picked one of them up and it's rolled it up. So just to untangle it all, I've cleared them all out. I've been through, we had quite a few little tiny edibles like that. Yeah. Just got to throw back. We had two legal size edibles, one legal size lobster, and 2 big spider crabs. Now it's a bit of a shame because the best edible we have only has 1 claw. A nice size male that. That one's just over legal size, but nice enough to eat. The spider crabs disappointed me a little bit because we have one absolute monster, and yet look how tiny those claws are. The female, you can tell by the size of the pad. This one, being a male, only has a thin strip up there, whereas that one has a big pad. Look at the difference in the size of claws. This one is half the size of this one, and yet the claws are twice the size. Well, this one's too small, this one's got to go back. But the claws on this are twice the size of the claws on that. I'm going to throw both these back. If this one had had big claws, I would have kept it. But that one there, it's just over legal size, but I'm not interested in them. I'll stick them in this bucket here, and I'll shoot my pots back, and then I'll steam away and I'll drop these in. I don't really want to be dropping them where I'm going to be shooting my pots again, because I'll just end up catching them again. But yeah, a rare beast, she isn't she? See the difference, can't you? The size of that pad there, because that's where she holds her eggs, and the male has only got a narrow one. Yeah. 2 spider crabs. And thankfully, oh, easy love, easy. A lovely lobster. Measuring at 94 for all the people that want you to know. And what you have to do is you have to measure from the back of the eye there to the back of the carapace. So that's solid part. Lovely little female. Check the tail fans to make sure there's no V's. No eggs, because you're not allowed to land buried eggs. You're not allowed to land buried hens, which is females with eggs. A couple of decent crabs and a lobster. Now, married up with the mackerel that we've just had. I've got live bait fishing out the back in the hope of a nice pollock or something like that, but I don't think we're going to find it. But definitely worth coming out and checking the pots. I'm going to steam back and get these shot away, and then we will see about going in. Just getting ready to shoot these pots back here. Thought I'll just talk real quickly about it. You want to shoot them and haul them in the direction of the tide. You don't want to go across the tide, because the same way that if everything's in line, you have less tide effect on it. If it's across the tide, you have more of the tide hitting against them all. So you try and shoot them and haul them in the direction that the tidal flow goes. Now, I've got my 2 homemade pots here, the two with the blue pipes on. This one here, this one, as you can see, isn't a homemade pot. I have a friend that was gifted a load of pots by a commercial fisherman, and they were all a bit damaged, you know, they weren't fishing anymore. And my friend, he'd said to me, he says, look, I've been given half a dozen of these. If you can help me fix them up, you can have one. So that's what I did. So you can see here the green parts, where all I've done is I've just fixed the meshes that were broken, replaced a little bit. I mean, the bottom's going, but I might get a good season out of this, and all it's taken me is a good half an hour to fix the mesh. So those of you who cannot make the whole pot, like these blue ones, like I show in my video, maybe try and approach a local commercial fisherman and see if he's got any broken that he doesn't want anymore, and you can just fix them up. Because that's it saved me making it, it saved me buying it. He wasn't using it, and I've just fixed it, and now I can use it. And you see there, I caught them spider crabs and them crabs. It's strange actually, because I've used this one a couple of times, and these pots catch more crabs. My pots, the homemade ones that I've made, seem to catch lobsters really well. These ones catch crabs really well. I don't know what it is. Next time I haul them, if they've got crabs in again, and if they've got crabs in the black one and lobsters in the blue ones, you know that there's definitely something about it. Anyway, right. One thing that you want to be absolutely sure of when you're shooting pots is organise where the rope is. I've got these about 15 feet apart. There's one join, and then 15 feet to the other one. Actually more like 10. But one thing you want to make sure is that you don't have loose ropes on the floor, because as soon as you start steaming along and start dropping these pots over the side, if you get a bite of rope around your foot, you'll be lucky if you don't go over the side with it. So make sure that it's all sorted beforehand. Look, I have the buoy rope all coiled up, all sat aside. It's not on the floor or on my feet. All the pots are ready, and all I'm going to do is that one's first, that one's second, that one's third. Organise yourself, because it's a nightmare if you throw one over the side and a bit of rope gets all tangled up, and then you're holding the weight of it and the tide, and a little bit of preparation. Sounds alright in theory, doesn't it? We'll steam back up round and we'll get these pots shot. Right, there we go. We've shot the pots back. Got some fantastic mackerel. Got maybe 30 decent sized ones. Like 30 decent sized ones. The only problem is now is my one, what was a clean boat is now not a clean boat. Check the pots. Had some nice spiders in them. Nice edible crabs. It's a shame that edible crab only has one claw. Still tasty. Yeah, that was it. All I did was I just brought me feathering rod with me just in case when I was coming to check the pots, and I'm glad I did. We didn't get any bass, didn't get any pollock, but you can only catch what's there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. See you later.